friend of mine and I were talking about how if we had corporate America and the average ultra rich jerk paying their fair share in taxes, we could afford everything that we talk about. We could afford school lunches for every kid in the country. We could afford, everybody that wants to go to college to go to college. We could afford for apprentices to go to their trade programs, and we could pay for that. But we can't, because we keep giving tax cuts to the ultra rich. And I want to put this in a perspective that everyone understands. Because when we go in the next few videos and talk about budgets and budgetary stuff, and I'm going to break it down as simple as I can so that everyone that watches these videos, everyone I know would understand. All right? So I'm going to break this down, how much taxes average Joe is getting screwed. In the United States of America, average Joe is someone who makes $0 to $400,000 a year. Right? We'll agree on that. We are all bucketed together, so whether we like it or not, if you only make $16,000 a year, you are paying 12 cents out of every dollar you make into the federal government. And the guy who's making $400,000 a year, he's paying somewhere around 36 to 42 cents out of every dollar he makes into the federal government. But all together as a collective in the same bucket, because that's how we get bucketed, we pay 22 to 24 cents on the dollar. So average American, average Joe, we pay almost a quarter in federal taxes per dollar we make. That's it. Simple, right? Almost a quarter. 22 to 24 cents, depending on the year. Fluctuates a little bit because the hourly get overtime and that type of stuff. But 22 to 24 cents a dollar. I'm thinking that's as simple as I can make it. And corporate America right now is paying 8 cents for every dollar they make on average. Now that includes the mom and pops, who are usually paying way more than the Wall Street banks per dollar. Like Wall Street banks are probably paying less than 3 cents on the dollar, while mom and pop are probably paying closer to 20 cents or 30 cents on the dollar. But corporate America as a whole is paying 8 cents on the dollar. Put them all in the same bucket, like they put $0 to $400,000 a year for average Joe. So put all the corporations, all the companies, privately held and publicly traded, they pay 8 cents on the dollar. How fair does that sound now? Oh, and the ultra rich, the 4% of the rest of the population, they pay less than 4 cents on the dollar. Now how fair does it all sound? How bad do you feel for them while you're struggling to figure out how to pay your rent because you're paying 12, 22, 26 cents on the dollar? How fair does it sound that they're paying less than 4 cents on the dollar? Sound fair to you now? And when I say we could afford a lot more, they paid $365 billion, and they love to wave that number around. $365 billion last year in taxes. That is less than half what they paid just 8 years ago. They paid over $700 billion just 8 years ago. They are now down to less than half of what they used to pay. And they're like, oh, we pay too much in taxes. We need another ultra-rich tax cut. Do they? Do they really? If we made them pay just 4 times what they're paying now, 20 cents on the dollar, that's an extra $1.5 trillion for us to spend on stuff that is actually important, on being able to actually pay off the deficit. Those corporations, if they were paying 1.5 times what they pay right now, $530 billion, that would be an extra $700 billion to $1 trillion more that you and I wouldn't have to pay. Or, again, that we could use to pay off the deficit. take care of our fellow Americans, help take care of people globally. We're that powerful of a country financially if we want to be. And when all of you are sitting there talking about how we need to be great again, the greatest time economically for this nation was when President Eisenhower was in office. And corporations were paying an average of 40 cents on the dollar. And the ultra rich were paying an average of 55 cents for every dollar they made. An average Joe American was paying an average of 13 to 15% for every dollar we made. Is that simple enough for you to understand that the ultra rich don't need any more tax cuts? Can I make it any clearer? As always, man, think about it. Peace.